listening to The Story with Andy Steinhauser, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Well, a very good evening, everyone. Welcome back to The Story with Andy Steinhauser. Tonight's guest, so very exciting. We have the two-time and current Academy of Magical Arts Magician of the Year and all-around incredibly fascinating gentleman, Mr. Rob Zabrecky. Rob, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me tonight.
Thank you so much for doing the show, and congratulations. I know you are the current reigning Magician of the Year, and this is a big honor because it's from your peers.
Yes, it is.
So, yeah, I mean, tell me about the award because you've actually won it twice.
Well, it's great to be recognized among your peers for what you love to do. First of all, that's just a great feeling because, hopefully people do creative things because they're inspired to do them from somewhere deep inside. And then when people like what you're doing on top of that, it's a bonus, really. And to have a little trophy at home to look at, to go, yeah, people like what I'm doing, and that's interesting. That's a nice little thing to have to remind you to.
Well, congratulations, because it really is a big honor, and especially because the Magic Castle is full of amazing magicians. Now, to be able to perform, just to be able, as a magician to perform in the Magic Castle, you have to really kind of work your way up. Not anybody can just perform at the Magic Castle.
Not everybody can. And first of all, you have to become. To be a magician member, you have to actually audition before a committee of magicians who make sure that you're proficient in the field of, sleight of hand.
Right.
And they also ask a series of questions about what's in your magic library and things like that. So there is definitely.
And there's 5,000 currently?
About 5,000 members,
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good amount. But it is open to the public and everybody can come in. And
No, it's a private club.
Oh, that's right.
It's not open to the public. It's a private club for magicians and their guests. So,
okay.
In other words, if you wanted to go, you could come as my guest. I could
Is
make
that an invitation?
Sure, of course.
Going to take you up on that one.
So it's great because it is a private club, and that's part of the reason that I think people like it. And there's a dress code. There's decorum.
It's got a real lure about it.
Yes,
Hollywood
it does.
lure as well.
An old Hollywood feel is definitely present.
Yeah. Now, okay, so you had the rock dream, and that was kind of fully fleshed out and realized, and started to fade away, and you said, okay, well, I'm going to reinvent myself, and obviously you were already an entertainer and you wanted to maybe stay in that realm. How did it, how did you know that was definitely what it was going to be? I'm sure you probably thought about acting, and you do acting as well.
I'll tell you this, I didn't think to myself, I need to reinvent myself. That was an afterthought after I was able to get enough perspective to look back and go, oh yeah, I was lost in this, doing what I was doing. I wasn't getting the enjoyment out of it that I originally had. The spark and the love that we had for doing the music was kind of gone.
Right.
So I was kind of lost, really.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and I didn't know what else I was going to do. I didn't go to college like the other guys, so I didn't have anything to fall back on. I became interested in magic in a very abstract way. Mm-hmm. But being interested in anything is just being interested. To become proficient and then become a professional at that occupation, that's years of work, and that's what it took for me, was that this whole other what felt like a college education, because it was 4 years. It's still 15, 17 years of study, and that will probably will continue that as long as I'm interested in magic.
Yeah. Now you had one of the most rare experiences that anybody could ever have. Unfortunately, it turned out to be that you were the very last magician, we think, to ever perform for Michael Jackson, and you performed privately in his home. What was it, about 2 months before his death?
Yeah.
I mean, tell me. Unfortunately, we only have about 10 minutes left, but tell me about that experience.
Well, I'll preface it by saying I'm not a children's entertainer by rote.
You don't do children's birthday parties.
Well,
often
I have, and I do favors for friends, and I do like performing for children, but I don't advertise myself as somebody who goes out and does that. Nor have I ever, but I've done a fair amount of them because they're quite frankly they're fun to do. And so I got a call one Saturday morning from a producer friend of mine, and he said, "Look, I got a party this afternoon. It's a high-profile client, and I'll pay you X amount of money, come out and do 10 minutes worth of magic." And I had a couple auditions that day. It was Saturday, but I was busy, and I said, I can't. I've got a lot going on.
I want to turn these down.
Yeah, exactly. And he said, well, I'll tell you that it's Michael Jackson.
I mean, were you just like, okay, I got to do it?
I'm like, how fast can I call my agent and cancel these auditions?
Yeah.
I lost it. I'm such a huge, am and was certainly then a huge fan of Michael Jackson.
Oh, I mean, old Michael, the music.
The whole thing, everything.
Everything to Bad album is just incredibly classic,
Yes, that I think that's true.
Yeah.
But beyond his music, the person that
the entertainer, he's fascinating.
The person, yeah. I mean, the evolution of this young boy who was like wildly talented, who lost out on his childhood, and the whole evolution of him and what he became, and the choices that he made, and the boldness that he took in life. I just admire him, and have always been infatuated. And for 20 minutes one afternoon, I got to know what Michael Jackson was doing, and that was
what
amazing.
is he doing?
Well, what was he doing?
What was he doing?
He was watching me. I mean, luckily, I got to say so. So we got the call, and I showed up at his house. Blanket's 7th birthday party. I'm expecting 50 people.
Right.
There were 4. It was Michael and Paris, and Michael Jr. and Blanket.
And that's it.
So 4 people. And there was a whole troupe of entertainers. There was a juggler, there was a hula hoop artist, myself, some dancers, and I think that's
This
it.
was all just for Blanket's birthday, but there was no other kids.
No other kids. But it didn't matter. No,
Yeah.
it was just unbelievable because they were so content that you felt they were okay with it. It must be so complicated being that. It's so and I saw with my own eyes as I performed for them. It was outdoors. Mm-hmm. And it was in this backyard of their Humbly Hills home off Sunset Boulevard.
Right.
And so I walked out to perform for them, and as I was into my first trick, a helicopter comes over, starts hovering, just 100 feet, 50 feet above their house. And the kids just like, the helicopter, and they cover themselves with these sort of textiles.
Wow.
And that's their life, is that people are always wanting to grab bits and pieces of they want to capture pictures and video of them. So I just got to see how sad that kind of was, because that's not.
I mean, it really is. It is sad.
Yeah, they got no. It was just. It was more like. It was like, oh, the sun's out. I need to put on my sunglasses. And it was just sad, But it was really nice for me to see with my own eyes that how their little family.
So few people. I mean, few people ever got to get the teeniest glimpse into their life.
Yeah, but that it was that feeling where when you see a tight-knit family and they're almost reading each other's thoughts, and it's almost like you can see how connected they are.
Yeah.
That was them.
Well, that's good to know.
It was good to know because you hear this.
You hear
and
all
that.
This crazy.
Yeah,
things.
You hear whatever and whatever.
Yeah.
But having seen it, I went, that's awesome.
Yeah, and congratulations. What an honor, just to perform for the King of Pop. I mean, that he was a fan enough to want to see you perform.
That he wanted magic at his
Michael was actually kind of obsessed with magic, huh?
Yes, he was. Yeah. Yes, he certainly was.
Very cool. Well, unfortunately, we're getting a little tight on time. I know you have so many things coming up, so give me the rundown. Like, what can we expect to see coming up from you, like in the next couple of months, throughout the next year?
Well, that's a good question. The next couple of months is more of the same. I'm performing at the Magic Castle.
Okay.
I'm going off to Michigan to make another feature. This will be the 3rd feature I've done this year.
Wow. Congratulations.
And thanks. And through my friendship with Ryan, that developed into me being in his directorial debut. He just directed and shot his first movie in Detroit called How to Catch a Monster.
Oh, wow. When's that going to come out?
Well, it'll come out 2014.
Okay. Yeah.
And
movies take so long to finally see the light of day.
I know.
Yeah,
but we just shot it. And
congratulations.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
It is exciting, and it was great. It was great. He saw me at Brookledge. Mm-hmm. He wanted to do something with this magic character.
Right.
And now that magic character is in his movie. How
was Ryan as a director?
Fantastic.
We'll have to have you back on to talk more like that experience later.
Yeah, it's great. Well, let's just put it this way.
Yeah.
He's a great actor, and I think he's worked with so many directors that he knows what works for actors.
Right.
And he gave me a lot of latitude and a lot of space to do what he thought I would do best. So that's how he worked with all the actors that I knew, that on
Very
that set.
cool.
So it's great.
So 2 movies wrapped.
Yep.
One more to go.
Yep.
And you're going to go off to film that soon?
Yeah, I'm leaving in 2 weeks to go back to Michigan.
Oh, it's in Michigan again?
Yeah, and I got hired from that only because I was in How to Catch a Monster. Somebody saw me. They said, hey, we see you're in this Ryan Gosling movie. Would you be the lead in this movie?
Oh, so this is going to be a lead?
Yeah.
Is this your first lead?
That's my second.
Wow,
Yeah.
Congratulations. So
Thanks.
the film career is about to take off, and, well, you never know with these things.
You never
but,
know with these things.
Well, you
I
just
hope.
seem to keep falling into the right direction.
Well,
So.
I hope so. I mean, it'd be nice.
Yeah.
It's a challenge for me that I love performing. I love the creative process, and I'm finding out how to do that in acting right now.
Yeah.
And it feels great. So
Congratulations.
I love that. I love the feeling.
And anything else? You write?
Well, I'm writing a memoir. The final thing is for the last 5 years I've been working on a memoir about growing up right here in Burbank. And,
Oh, wow.
And that in the next 2 years will come out. It's called Hot Freaks.
Is it done?
No.
Okay.
No, but I have a readable draft in about 2 months. And then
Wow.
and then a lot of intense editing and rewrites and whatnot. But
You are doing it all.
not all. Let me just get this on the record. This is all I can do. Everything you've heard me talk about for the last 40 minutes, that's it. Everything else, I'm practically incapable of doing in life. So.
Well, you're very humble for all your success, and we're very happy for you, and congratulations. It's
Thank you
very
so much.
exciting. So many exciting things to come. This is a name that maybe some people are getting introduced to for the first time, and I'm very honored that you're on our show for people to maybe just come back in a year and be like, wow, he was on that show.
Well, that'd be nice. But thanks so much for having me. This was a great chat. So
Well, thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Good luck, Rob, and
Thank you.
check Rob out and all his features, and check him out on robzabrecky.com. Obviously, we'll post his website, and you're on Twitter now.
Yep.
You're not very active, are you?
Nope.
Your last tweet was like June.
I'll fire something off.
Okay.
Just for you.
No worries. Well, we'll post your Twitter handle there on our page as well.
Sweet.
Well, thanks so
Great.
much for coming out, and thank you all for listening. I really appreciate it. Some of you have been giving me some feedback, and of course, you're always welcome to do so. My email is right there on the site, and of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Andy Steinhauser. It's right there on the site as well. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
You're listening to The Story with Andy Steinhauser right here on LA Talk Radio.